Hi guys, Harry here from TechMediaFusion.com. Today I've got a review of the Kobo Vox ebook reader. The Kobo is by no means the biggest player in the e-reader market. However, they have an interesting ethos that makes for an excellent device. The Kobo very much runs along the open source fence, and as a result, reading on the Kobo becomes a social event if that's something that you enjoy. Via Facebook, you can share what you're reading, comment on what you and your friends are reading, and even share certain phrases from a book up onto your Facebook timeline. So for book clubs, that type of thing, this is an excellent device. The Kobo has three devices in the range: Kobo Wi-Fi, which is £59, the Kobo Touch, which is £79.99, and the Kobo Vox, which is this one, which retails at £149.99. Both the Kobo Wi-Fi and Touch are 6-inch screens and primarily just ebook readers. The Kobo Vox is a 7-inch colour screen running the Android operating system with a 7-hour battery life, which I would strongly debate, and a micro SD card slot upgradable to 32 gigabytes. So let's get straight into showing you what the actual device is. Now, like I said the other day on the unboxing, as you can see here, it's quite a thick device, quite a heavy device. Although it's 7 inches, there's quite a lot of weight in it. Up against the Kindle, as you can see here, thickness wise, there's quite a difference. So if we turn it on now, like I say, the ethos in this company is great in terms of the open source part of it, but there is issues with this device, and I'll go through those as we come to them. As you can see here on the home screen, you have your first three, the three most recent books that you've been reading from your library. Now, one thing I will say is, Kobo have apps running on iOS devices, BlackBerry devices, and Android devices, and I believe with Windows, they've also got an app for that as well. So they really do stick to the open source part of it. As far as they're concerned, when you buy a book, it's yours and you can read it on any device. Doesn't matter where it is. So down at the bottom here as well on the toolbar, on the far left hand side, we have what an icon saying just for you. It's recommended books by Kobo. Then you've got the Kobo shop. Right in the center here is your apps for your Android apps. Over here is your library for the Kobo library. And then your reading life. I'll go into that in a second. So if I click on the library here, as you can see, and this is one of the biggest problems with this, quite a lot of these applications take a fair amount of time to load up, certainly whenever you compare it with the Samsung Galaxy Tab or the iPad. If we click on the Kobo Vox e-reader user manual, which is this one here, it's just a simple user manual that comes with the device, showing you all the different things. There's no fancy animations whenever you're turning the pages. It just, you just touch one side or the other for the page to go left or right. Down at the bottom here, I'm not sure whether you can see that. Oh, sorry, hang on. There's a little round circle at the bottom here. It's very, very faint, so that it doesn't get in the way if you're reading. But when you press it on the screen, it brings up a book stats. Right at the top here, it gives you the stats of this particular book. So it says times that the book has been read, 5,000. Comments that have been made on the book, 358. 2,000 likes and 321 dislikes. So that's basically about the Kobo in general, which should tell you quite a bit about the device. On this section here, it shows you the people that are currently reading this. Now, this information is all kind of like pulled off Facebook. You can also leave comments on the book, so it doesn't matter what book you're reading, you can leave comments on it. You can interact with your friends that are reading this. If you buy a book from the Kobo shop and you've put in your Facebook account, it'll tell you which one of your friends are reading that book, and so you can communicate between each other about the book. Let's go back to the library. That's really all there is about, at the end of the day it's reading, but it's the sharing aspect of it that is really interesting here with the Kobo. This is the Kobo bookstore. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Not really much to it here. If we go back onto the home screen, you can customize, as you could do with the Samsung Galaxy, like I showed you. You can customize any 5 kind of screens here at the top. The Xeno must have a deal with Kobo because it's one of the apps that comes pre-installed on it. Click on the apps, gives you a list of all your apps. The browser here that comes with it, I'm not very, it's not a very good browser. A little bit clunky at times, and like I say, this isn't a very responsive device, which is actually a little bit upsetting, because I was expecting good things from the Kobo. The price range of £159, it's really going to have to, Kobo are really going to have to sort of like get their act together in terms with the Nexus 7 coming out. They're going to have to slim the device down, and possibly, I'm not too sure whether the lack of response on this device is anything to do with the hardware or software issues. So that's something that I would recommend Kobo looking at, because certainly in comparison with the Samsung Galaxy Tab, running the same Android operating system, there is a big difference in terms of response. If you go into settings here, you've got your Kobo eReader settings. There's not really much to that. And then all the rest of the settings here, your wallpaper, your live background wallpapers, all those types of things as well. And that's really it, guys. Now, for me, the Kobo is an excellent concept. However, due to the lagging and constant crashes, there's certainly room for improvement. I'm not sure if this is, like I say, down to the hardware issue or software issue, but with Android devices such as the Nexus 7 hot on the Kobo's tail, Kobo definitely need to implement a few improvements on the device, which would include a little bit of a diet, slimming it down, whilst keeping it at the same price mark. Then and only then do I think the Kobo would be onto a winner with the Kobo Vox eReader. To be honest, I was hoping for a better performance from the Kobo. However, it didn't deliver on this front due to the open source nature of the company. It is only a performance issue that lets this device down. That's it from me, guys. Thanks very much for watching this video. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget, if you want to follow me on Facebook or Twitter, all the links to that are over at Tech Media Fusion or on the homepage here of my YouTube channel. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.